Hello, music multiverse listeners. Welcome to Beyond Your Radio. This is the show you should listen to or watch. Yeah, playing words. This is one of the simplest shows that we actually have on the channel, but it's the truth. It's the only reason we do it is exposure. Exposure for people, listeners to music that maybe they haven't heard. Maybe you were too scared to try. Maybe it seemed like it was too similar? How could it be better? I'm Mark Kulagowski. I'm the idiot who started all this, and I'm not better. And today on the program, due to the musical nights in the summers we dwindle a bit on our music panels, but not tonight. On the panel tonight, my exceptional wife, confidant, best friend, soundboard, and all
Knock up.
around old soul Suzie Q, my trusted best man, floor and EA Sports hockey playing, deadpan hilarious gentleman, the original and only original Jeff of all the Jeffs, Jeff Young. I
Thank
know
you.
I'm not doing anything. And truly the greatest sport of them all, Alex Kaluzny, who will not be eating in our faces tonight, but having poured the biggest glass of bourbon ever. Oh, that's not
Whoa.
bourbon.
Well, it is a Tullamore Dew and Coke, but it is the draft week.
The draft beer, the draft glass. Nice.
Well,
So if you
when I
did,
want to numb my pain, I just go with some lidocaine and vodka mix.
so if you haven't watched yet, we just released it. It's a show that I've been waiting a long time, and Alex was victimized on purposely. So check that out. That is that's your band name. It just released yesterday. Check that out so you'll know why I'm being nice and not comical. Hey, but on the comedy side, the Grateful Dude cannot join us because, well, first of all, he couldn't join us so he could poke us by touching his phone. And the
What are you talking about?
oh, you got to watch the show. He was trying to change the background, and it looked like he was poking me during the show. So anyway, he's under the weather because by God, when you travel here and share a breathing germs and bathrooms at 40,000 feet, you know you're gonna get sick. But he paid the price to come out here.
Well, God knows that when Mark and I were sitting there having bourbon with him, and he goes, "You have one more glass, you're gonna be under the table." Jeff's half asleep. Mark and I are looking at each other, going,
He
"We'll have another. We'll be fine."
So let's start it off. The show is real simple, but we want the panelists to build up the suspense, give it that get us sucked in and then lay it on us. And nobody does that better than Suzie Q.
Are you being funny?
Maybe now I am, yeah.
A little facetious?
Yep.
Apparently, the best friends go first.
Good. Let me get this out of the way. So,
I couldn't spell what you just said. Oh, what the fuck? How do you spell facetious?
facetious. Look it up.
He was an ancient philosopher.
I would have failed the script spelling bee.
All right. So, I just have to say, I had taken some time with this, had notes, they're gone. So, I feel bad because actually this band is pretty incredible, and deserves somebody, not me, to do it. But I'm just gonna do it anyway because I'm just doing it. So this band,
Go look it up.
I'll try to do a build up.
Yes, go.
Yeah, well, whatever. They adopted their name in 1966, so they're an older band, to honor Elvis Presley. It marked the 10th anniversary of his massive commercial breakout year in 1956, the year he released his first single, which is kind of weird, because the band doesn't really resemble Elvis Presley that I can tell, but I'm just kind of getting into them, so maybe I'm missing something. Um, they're also known for their performance at Woodstock, where apparently they had an incredible performance. Um, and And also for their lead vocalist and guitarist, who apparently everybody knows but me. Um, Interestingly enough, uh, we were just talking about Rival Sons, and when I was looking into this band to see who they might sound like today, that band came up. Don't know if it's true because I haven't listened to the Rival Sons yet. But that's another one on my list. So I guess it is supposed to happen tonight. I'm just supposed to say it and I'm supposed to go down this little rabbit hole. Uh Found it to be a really cool band. I kind of focused on one album. I'm not sure if this is their first one. So I can't say that. I'll have to look into it a little bit more, but they are like a quintessential rock band of that time, especially the 70s. Um, the version I listened to was remastered, uh, which I'm going to be honest, I really don't know if that makes a big difference or not, because I don't know. I don't listen to a lot of remastered albums, I don't think, but it sounds good. It sounds fresh. It sounds like something even young Alex in a good way. We all wish we could be young. Could sit down and be like, yeah, this kind of rocks. This grooves. This is great. I think anyway. Um, so the name of the band is 10 Years After. And the album is A Space and Time. It was released in 1971. Um, And yeah, I guess I don't know. I think this isn't the type of show we go into detail on the album, but um, if you haven't listened to the band before, this I think from my own experience, this is a fine one to go into and check them out. And I don't know what else.
One of the finest guitarists of all time, Alvin Lee.
Yes.
And Jimi Hendrix was asked how it was to be the greatest guitar player, and he said, "Don't ask me, go ask Alvin Lee." So
Yeah, very smooth, very, very smooth sound for sure.
Yeah, they're excellent.
So
and that
are you really familiar, Jeff, or a little bit familiar? Am I
I know
behind
their
the
biggest
times?
songs. I've never even seen them come around anywhere to tour. I'm sure they have. I've never
Yeah.
had the chance to see them or anything.
yeah, it's definitely one of those bands that the younger generation should take a hold of a little, for a bit, and that kind of coincides with the idea of Hendrix, the idea of the rock of the 70s. And yes, those panelists, those curmudgeon panelists we have that love their 60s and 70s, to the point of
I'm sure they know this one.
they know this one, but I think even sometimes they forgot that band was there sometimes because of all else that was going on. And I think that, you could put that band in with some of those giants, but never into that stadium giant thing,
Mhm.
which is that you never know. You never know. It doesn't, sometimes it's not how great a musician you are. It's the moment. It's something, the connection, and it's okay. But that great choice. Great choice. Alex.
So I thought that I've probably talked about this a little bit on the show by now, and if you've watched enough of these episodes, you'd know I'm a huge fan of the Glorious Sons. Um, I made the mistake of thinking that something was released when it was not done yet. And finally, it was done about, probably say, what has it been, Mark? A month or two since I first tipped it off to you?
Yeah, I think so.
It's the lead singer of the Glorious Sons, Brett Emmons, and his EP, Cabin Fever. And the reason I bring this up on the show now is very pointed. I'm on Instagram yesterday, And I see another thing on Brett Emmons' page. He's known by his name of the as his artist name on the album, which is John Shambles. And I see a album cover, and it has Cabin Fever crossed out and another word. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Look, and it says, I'm dropping an EP in 2 days. It's called Stragglers #1. This was a day ago, so this is coming tomorrow.
Yep.
This is the first chapter in what will be a series of EPs filled with songs that didn't fit albums. I'm buzzing. See you Friday. Go Oilers. All right. The Glorious Sons commented that, and I have a lot of questions.
You get to tell everyone that I was going to say you were living your life with your jaw on a swivel, man. All you concrete cowboys act the same. You talk a big game, looking in your eyes. I get the feeling people don't change. Oh, I think we're liars. I think we're liars. The song is about whatever you want it to be. I don't want to define it, but you can take shelter in me. I want to say my intrusive thoughts just to see whether you laugh or not. The song is about whatever you want it to be. Can we just agree? This doesn't have to be anything at all.
But he also posted 10 hours ago a video of a song called Saltine Crackers. Says it's featuring his twin Sierra Roberts of Tiny Horse Music. Song drops at midnight as part of Stragglers. So we've already got not only Cabin Fever for you to listen to, we've also got Stragglers once that comes out. Now, I thought we were done. But wait, there's more. His brother, Jay Emmons, guitarist for the Glorious Sons. He has a project out, and if you want to see this band, they are currently opening for the Trews across Canada this summer. I did not realize this was him. His project is called Eddie and the Dirty Boys. Features him, Boston Levi, some members of the Glorious Sons, and some local Ontario musicians, but he is vocals and guitar. Not the lead guitar like he plays with the Glorious Sons. So apparently he has a debut album coming out. If not, it is out now. I'm just fact checking that live on the air with you all. But it looks like it might even be out, the debut album called Undefeated. So, want another one to look for. Eddie, EDDY, and the Dirty Boys. They have some music out as well, and the Emmons brothers look to be putting out some solo stuff aside from their Glorious Sons. So, you might not catch it by the name of the artist, but you'll catch some good music out of these guys, and I have no doubt, having not listened yet to JM and stuff, I can imagine it's going to be just as good. His brother's stuff, though, has kicked ass from what I've heard.
Yeah, this is definitely going to have that vibe of 70s, I'm going to say, based on the cover. Also, the fact that Folsom Prison Blues is one of the songs. So obviously that's a cover.
And take Artificial Intelligence for what it's worth. But when I typed in the band name, what I got up was their music is a loud, loose, unapologetically fun mix of classic rock swagger and country grit. heavily influenced by 70s bands like The Faces and the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, has a Rolling Stones like look to it. Yeah, like even Little Allman Brothers kind of thing too. So that's great. This is a Steve Scout and Wheelhouse alert.
Also was released on June 11th is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I think it wasn't long. I thought I saw some. Because remember, if you're following us on Beyond Your Radio, what is the one thing I love to get involved in? I love bands that have and the. I can't stop it. Somebody and the. And I'm like, oh, I want to listen to that because it's and the. I don't know why. It's a stupid thing I have, but it is. So I did see that, and I hadn't listened to it yet. But now that you mentioned that it's part of Glorious Sons, which I like them. I'm not gaga yet, but maybe someday.
Well, and you know what it says? Features a track list built for barroom sing-alongs, quick taste of high-energy classic rock sound, and that's just Eddie and the Dirty Boys. I was initially going into this thinking I was talking about Shambles tonight, but
I just don't know how a Canadian band sings a song called "Leaving California." But anyway,
well, and I will say, by the way, to the and thes, I think the best one I've ever heard was
Snowbirds.
No, it was Taylor Hawkins and the Coattail Riders.
Yes, yeah,
that was hands down one of the funniest names I'd heard.
Mr. Young, what do you have for us today?
I don't know how popular of a term it is, but the one term to describe this album is neoclassical metal. And the title track is probably one of the earliest versions of maybe not progressive rock, but you consider progressive metal. This is the second solo album, Diary of a Madman from Ozzy Osbourne. And so this is the final really work of Randy Rhoads because he was tragically killed in an airplane accident after that. But what's funny is this album was actually recorded back to back at the same time as Blizzard of Oz, the first one. So the fact that it was so successful and still regarded today as a great album kind of goes to just kind of proves the point that Ozzy didn't really need Black Sabbath to be successful. This shows like Blizzard of Oz wasn't just a fluke. Right. But Rhoads explicitly incorporated his classical guitar training into this album. And, tracks like Over the Mountain and You Can't Kill Rock and Roll are, pretty popular among metal fans. And those are kind of a lot of the ones two that you'd hear most on the radio from that album. But like the first track, Over the Mountain, like the way it's a perfect way to open an album. It's just a drum fill followed immediately by some awesome guitar by Randy Rhoads. If you hear it once, you'll never not recognize it. You'll always remember it. And then the next song, Flying High Again, that was really more of Ozzy's declaration of reclaiming his status after being kicked out of Sabbath. You can't kill rock and roll. Like the line is perfect. Leave me alone. Don't want your promises no more, because rock and roll is my religion and my law. I mean, what an anthem for any music geek, or musician. And then Believer, perfect line. You've got to believe in yourself, or no one will believe in you. Also about Ozzy's, resurgence, getting back up after being knocked down. And then Little Dolls has a blistering guitar solo from Randy Rhoads. And what's funny about that track is that was something he just thought of off the cuff. And he was going to go back and redo it and change it. But because of timing, they just never did. But it's still considered one of his better solos. And then the one track Tonight is really one of Ozzy's first attempts at like a ballad, like an emotional ballad. And it's got amazing guitar by Randy Rhoads. The whole album, I would listen to it just to listen to Randy Rhoads. It's amazing. But then they truly saved the best for last. The title track, Diary of a Madman, really is considered progressive. It is just an unbelievable piece of guitar work from beginning to end. It's like a 6 or 7 minute song, maybe not quite 7, but if you listen to just one song off that album, listen to Diary of a Madman, you'll be like, oh my God, what year is this made? It's unbelievable.
I always thought when it came to Flying High Again, That being in the metal genre as Ozzy was, something about the way that song was composed and pieced together. Not a lot of metal songs gain your ear with a tempo that I'm going to say is slow like that one is. And I say slow meaning it ain't slow, but it's slow for what usually gets out and gets your ear from a lot of these bands' albums. Like that track is very well composed and kind of fun sounding. The way that if you just block the vocals out and listen to everything behind it, it's it's unique in that genre too, for being one of the hits.
That was a great review, Jeff. I
Yeah,
like that.
thanks. If you listen to one track only off that album, it's got to be Diary of a Madman. But there's a lot of good tracks.
You just kind of wonder what that would have been like with Rhodes not passing.
I mean, think about it. Like when you think about neoclassical, the only other, like probably the most well-known person outside of Randy was say Yngwie Malmsteen, who had the similar training. But he had Rising Force and he did his solo stuff, but just wasn't ever gonna be as meaningful or poignant as someone like Randy Rhoads, who was in a already established band and group of musicians and with Ozzy's name. Like he was thinking up something new every album, kind of like the way Eddie Van Halen did. Like it's kind of like he was never going to be Eddie Van Halen. He was only going to be Randy Rhoads.
Yeah.
And it would have been just as good. Like it would have been just the talent and the level of technical playing would have been as good as Eddie, but just different because they were just different players. And we missed all of that. We only got 2 albums.
Well, so let's say that he is still alive, right? Would Ozzy have gone back to Black Sabbath? Right? And if he doesn't die, what happens to this?
That's a very, very
so
good
now
question.
where's Zakk Wylde in the mix, right? It's a very interesting
That's a very
like
fun
eight
track.
degrees
Zakk
of separation.
Wylde didn't
right?
replace Randy Rhoads.
What?
Zakk Wylde didn't replace Randy Rhoads.
No, but he found that he wouldn't have needed to find Zakk Wylde.
He wouldn't have had auditions, right? Yeah.
But I'll thank you.
That's a
By
very
the way,
good
I tell you, people, let me just make a plug here. A lot of these record stores do release days, and you can get some swag, man. This is a golf towel.
That's sweet.
A golf towel for the Black Label Society release. Anyway, I digress.
No, there's a great point to be made there, both in going to record store days and having the opportunity for that. Like there's some good shit there.
We did well, you don't know because I shouldn't say it that way. We just basically recorded the other night the Depeche Mode catalog review show. And we were thinking about it even during it. We mentioned it that what a very difficult genre of music to expose yourself to deliberate on it, to understand the subtleties, the differences, the nuances, darkness, lightness, heaviness, and how it pans out. But tonight, I'm going to make that same approach and statement to the blues. It's the blues. Hasn't it been done? Doesn't it all sound the same? Well, it doesn't, but dun, 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 dun. That shuffle, that slide. There's a lot of easy comfortabilities you can get away with, and people love it. When you start to do that, it doesn't matter what the lyrics are. Gypsy woman told my mother before I was born, you got a poor child coming. Or it could be like, hey, I'm sitting on the back porch. Dun, 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 and whatever you want after that. The greats are guilty of it too. They steal, they borrow, they twist, they regurgitate, but they do a vim, they do a vigor, they put their stamp on it. Sometimes it's a slight lick change that then they just hold it, or there's a deeper enthusiasm. Sometimes it's faster, as we've seen with newer artists. Other times it's like a fast forward to the future with bombastic production and, out on a limb kind of showmanship that goes batshit crazy. Sometimes it hits. Sometimes it's overzealous, maybe. Sometimes you think, I don't need to hear some new blues because it's been there, it's been done. Think of the national anthem. Try making that your own. Good luck. Tonight, I present, a traditional blues artist, a guitarist, singer, songwriter, a really good one. But I'm not sure how well known. This person's been around 40 years in the business. Born in Brooklyn, New York. I guess that doesn't matter. A little bit of Massachusetts thing going on, and then gets to Chicago. At the age of 7, smitten with a guitar. All right, well then you're in the right city. You're in the right place. So band starts 1980. Got signed to Blind Pig Records. Yeah, there's a record label that doesn't get mentioned at the Grammys. Well, maybe it should, because it's Albert Cummings, Papa Chubby, Muddy Waters, Buddy Guy, several others I could mention and go down a huge list. But this person has jammed with some pretty incredible people by having to travel and do this thing, but also in the very address of the album that I'm going to mention, and there's reasons for the name of the album being an address, this person had been playing in this prestigious club and pretty much known over the world, kind of, because the particular gig place was noted for incoming musicians heading somewhere as a stopover to jam at the second session. Now, that kind of likens to us here in Buffalo, that a place, the Nickel City Lounge, that used to host artists that played that night that would come over and play. So what happens is, this particular night, someone comes up and says, there's this English bloke that wants to play with us. And who would say no, or even be worthy to be on stage with the legendary Double Necker? An album that solidifies the meaning and expression and reality of club work, leaving your mark, even if it's in the same place, night after night, honing your skill set, experimenting, impressing, implying things. This album is very much as raw as it can possibly be in the studio. The producer of the record demanded it and said, don't bring any pedals in. Don't bring any of that in. Keep it standard electric. I want it to sound like it's the truth of the club. If you like raw electric Chicago blues, you like slide, you're going to get smacked in the face like when you heard Vaughn. You're going to get smacked in the face like you heard Bonnie Raitt. And another woman who's in the same shoes as that, and that would be, obviously, Tedeschi. But think of that meeting George Thorogood, Anna Popovic, Mary Lane, which is basically a legend in Chicago, Sue Foley, who Sue and I have seen play, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Almond Betts. The producer of that record, Joe Bonamassa, who stole said guitarist away from Blind Pig Records and said, come follow me. The album, well, before I get to that, the guy that joined on stage, Jimmy Page. Her name is Joanna Connor. The album is 801 South Indiana Avenue. The album was named that because it's the address of the Chicago blues landmark, the Teresa Lounge, which opened.
And for those of us who want to write it down, can you repeat that?
Yes. Chicago blues landmark, Teresa Lounge, 801 South Indiana Avenue. opened in the 1950s until the mid 80s. Joanna actually got her start there a few times, and she played the last few days before it closed because Teresa lost her lease.
What was the last name? Joanna
Connor, Connor. So it was primary meeting place in Chicago blues. Junior Wells leading the house band there. And you had Mississippi Delta coming through all the time. B.B. King, Howlin' Wolf, just legends like that coming through. This album is an absolute stinger. It's not old. So I'll leave you with that. And I'll thank the panel for bringing these albums to light tonight. We'll do this again in a month. We're on the web at beyondyourradio.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, articles, videos, that podcast. By God, I need another 48 hours in a day. All about music, albums, bands, artists, anything we can get our hands on. Go Beyond Your Radio with us, a real music appreciation channel. Thanks for watching. Happy listening.